Hey everybody out there on the internets, welcome again to another edition of Give It a Shot, the Mystery Box Edition. Today we've got 5 more DVDs that are going to go in, and whichever one's the winner, we all lose. So who's up today? Well, first we have a returning favorite, still sealed by the goodness of Toys R Us. It's Mia and Me, the Blossom Tree. Something about fairies in the woods or something like that. I don't know. The characters on the back scare me to death. Get in there. Next, we have more winged creatures. It is Hermie and Friends. Busby the Misbehaving Bee, with a bee that looks like Arthur Fonzarelli if he was made out of, like, melted Mega Blocks. It just doesn't look good. And, as a bonus, this DVD contains one of my favorite things, celebrity guest voices. Tim Conway as Hermie. Don Knotts as Wormy. Don't put that out of context. And Melissa Disney as Lucy. Aha. Next, we have one of the internet's favorite stupid memes, Donkey Kong Country. A triple feature of Donkey Kong Country episodes. I'm only going to watch one of these if I get it, and it's primarily because I don't hate myself that much. So, yeah, that's in there. Next is a returning favorite character of mine. I mean, good gravy. I have her up here. I have her often in the house, so she's everywhere. Strawberry Shortcake, and this one is Sky's the Limit. I'm a little nervous. It's CG. Strawberry Shortcake, and I don't know how to take it. Get in there. And finally, a new one to the list. It is Dayspring Really Woolly, the Tree of Life. There's a lot to unpack in that line, but we'll see how this goes. So, whatever Dayspring is, this appears to be educational in some way, shape, or form, but we'll see. Alright. Time to mix them all up. Oh dear God. It's Mia and me. We've lost. We've all lost, and it's the end of humanity. What the hell, I don't care. Just get this thing over with. Ugh. Well, we have come to this. Mia and Me, the Blossom Tree. So apparently, just to get a little bit of its premise and background out of the way, Mia and Me is a German live / computer animated production, and it reminds me something in the same vein as Power Rangers, where you have this live action part and this other part that comes from another country that you work with. So this is all about a character whose name is Mia. She doesn't typically look like this. She's actually a 12-year-old schoolgirl. I just love it how all the stuff I do, I end up going back to magical girls. Go figure. But I will say this is definitely better than Regal Academy. But anyhow, This, I guess, was on PBS because the inset has some PBS Kids advertisement stuff in it that they were peddling, and apparently this is definitely not the first episode. This is episode 10, so a lot of stuff that's going on in here I don't follow, I don't have a clue, and you get lost in spots, but you know, that's just the fault of the fact that I don't have the first episode. I'm just dealing with, here we are in the middle of the season. So anywho, Mia is a 12-year-old girl who has the ability to, she has this book that she can use to go to this land called Centopia. So this is kind of like Superbook. So you got that going for it. But in order to get there, she has to unlock the password, which is written in some weird hieroglyphics and in backwards, and she has to do all this stuff to do it.
Say your password.
Unicorns come and unicorns go. The reward is found within a unicorn's glow. I'm sorry.
And in this episode, apparently her buddy wants to go. And the thing that drove me nuts about the live action part, and it's besides the fact that the boy is annoying as all get out, there's a lot of added animation around the characters, which I don't understand completely why you need that. When you do something like that, when you start adding little animations around things as for detail, that to me tells that your story isn't good, that it's not compelling enough on its own, that just these two characters, and in this instance, the boy character wants to go with her, and shock and awe, he can't. So, like, there's a whole weird scene where he's whimpering and whining, and I don't know who thought his hair was a good idea, but it's not. He's just a whimperer. He's just annoying and...
Hurry up, we don't have time.
I want to go too.
What?
Seriously, why can't I?
I don't even know if it'll work for you.
So we skip through that, and she gets to this place, and apparently this Mia character's ability is she has a special ability to talk to unicorns. So she can do this, and she turns into this. I thought they were fairies, but apparently in this show, they are elves. Winged elves.
Bring up the elves.
Mia! There you are!
Wow, this thing worked fast this time.
I'm not the most well-versed follower of Tolkien lore, but I thought elves were not winged. I don't know, and if they are, this is more like ground bees, which doesn't make sense to me either. Like bees that live in the ground, no, bees live in hives and things like that. But they got this too. So, anywho, it's these winged elves who have these two leaders, and I'm assuming the king and queen. And it's funny because the king looks like a straight-haired Lee Dan Avidan from Ninja Sex Party. It's like if he just smoothed his hair down, this is what he would look like. Also, if he took steroids. But it's just like, okay, this is the premise that we're going with. Oh, God. And then it gets weird.
Oh, that bites.
Boy howdy. So anywho. She has friends that are these winged elves as well, and she has a unicorn friend who has wings. So this thing is an alicorn if you follow My Little Pony lore. So this is definitely not just your typical unicorn. It's definitely not your typical unicorn because it apparently in some places has the ability to make things grow out of nothing. Nothing. And it just grows. So that's her friends. And her friends are friends. They're not really, I don't really know what they do.
That Panthea knows too.
They'll be sitting ducks.
You're right, Mia.
Other than just accompany her on these things, because I guess the whole premise is you are trying to figure out this riddle. When she says this password, and I guess it's like a clue to what the aim of the episode is.
Unicorns come and unicorns go. The reward is found within a unicorn's glow. Unicorns come, unicorns come, unicorns come.
And if she solves it, she gets this piece of a thing that's supposed to repel evil, I guess. I had to look all this stuff up afterwards because I'm like, what? So she found the golden booger? What is this?
I think this calls for a celebration.
Uh-oh. It looks like you're going to have to celebrate without me.
She can talk to the unicorns, and today is a very special day because the blossom tree blossoms. Woo! And it only blossoms for one day, and all the unicorns of the land come.
Unicorns come.
And they will sup at the blossom tree. And I don't know what happens. I don't know, maybe their poops are magical or something like that. And it's all a wondrous thing.
What's so special about it?
As with many things about the unicorns, we simply don't know.
This evil character who is trying to corral all of these unicorns for reasons that escape me, I don't know why. Something about unicorn dust, which sounds like meth.
Take advantage of this day, Gargona, and this glass will be overflowing with unicorn dust.
So the idea is if the unicorns go to this blossom tree today, it'll be really easy to pick them off. And so this evil character's planning to do this stuff, and she's taking some direction from this queen who I can only describe as hexadecimal from Reboot, except really, really aged and wretched.
They will never be able to resist the lure of those blossoms, and so they will seal their own doom!
Not that hexadecimal was ever really anything scary to begin with, but that's really the vibe I get from her. Speaking of vibes, I get the feeling that the person who developed this was also a fan of The Last Unicorn because all of the unicorns look like The Last Unicorn. It's like that. So it's a weird copy and paste. In fact, this whole episode's like, to me, like a whole series of tributes to other things that are better. The Last Unicorn is a great movie. And it's a fantastic book. And so you definitely modeled your unicorns after that. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in here that plays with the formula, like apparently there's a great unicorn and it's an earth unicorn, if you can wrap your head around that. And she is majestic and no elf has seen her in eons. But we'll just go down the tunnel and boom, there she is. She just formulates. Here I am. But apparently, they asked for her help because when the elves tried to tell the unicorns, hey, you shouldn't go this year because if you do, you're at a greater risk of being captured. You know, some of you have lost loved ones. Do you want to be taken up as well? And, well, they don't care. The unicorns want this blossom tree and whatever it holds.
Unicorns come.
They go to this earth unicorn who has never had eyes laid upon her by an elf in years. Boom, it happens. And Mia convinces her with a little bit of help from this alicorn. Yeah, we'll do it. Fine. So they show up to the blossom tree and the unicorns are coming in. The earth unicorn stops them by putting up a wall around the blossom tree, but the other unicorns are still sticking around. And I almost get the feeling like this is some sort of modern day parable for today's political and medical climate. I'm just putting that out there. That's just what this felt like. Because they're like warning, if you do this, you could be hurt. You could bad things will happen. But the unicorns don't care.
It's not working. They're not turning back.
They're still gonna stay here, even if they can't get to the tree.
The evil characters show up, their army, and naturally this scares, like, oh, Snot, how are we gonna deal with this? So the Earth Unicorn creates, for all I know, the Underground Railroad for unicorns to get back to the Elf Palace. And while that's happening, the Winged Elves create like a distraction, and some of the other, like Mia and the other characters, start collecting these blossom, the fruit of the blossom tree, which I thought were grapes, but find out later it's they're like flower blossoms. That's it. Like, what is this? But they discover they get a lot of these blossoms and whatnot, and they distract enough to the point where all the unicorns get in, and apparently the bad guys have an aversion to water. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but they do, because as the characters are coming into the palace area, this water dome emerges, and this whole sequence, this whole chase from the Blossom Tree back to the palace reminds me of Return of the Jedi. Like, there's parts where they're flying through some trees, and like the speeder bike chase. It's like that, and crashes, obviously, because that's just what happens. And then when they bring up the shield, so to speak, at the water dome, it's like when the Death Star raises its shields and all the ships are like flying away. Yeah, that's what I mean when everyone's giving tributes to these other things. So it's rather weird. And then after all of this, the unicorns are given all the stuff that the characters managed to take off the tree. But apparently it was off the tree too long, so all the unicorns turned their nose up to it.
Been off the tree too long. Oh no. All that work for nothing.
I'm sorry, but if I just risked my ass so that you could eat some shit that I risked my own neck for, just because of your tradition to eat this, because that was the other thing. The unicorns, even though they don't say shit, basically wanted to go to this thing because of their traditions.
No, Anshao is not betraying your traditions. He's trying to make sure you survive to carry them on.
That's it. That's the only reason why they want to go to this fucking tree and eat these blossoms so their magical poops will do something. And it's like, you ingrates, we just saved your ass. Your four-legged ass. And you're not going... I had to kick myself some unicorn ass at that point. I hate privilege like that. But here comes Deus Ex Unicorn Alicorn. Ancha or Mancha or La Cucaracha. I can't remember the horse's name. But because this horse has the ability to make things blossom again, all these blossom, and all of a sudden the unicorns are like, oh, hot shit, let's eat it! And they fucking eat it. And that's it. And then she warps back to the damn real world and she explains some shit and that's it.
So, what happened?
Big ceremony, unicorns, elves, the usual.
I'm sure, in the scheme of things, this is probably a decent show. I don't care for the character designs at all. They're not very good. I mean, Mia's an okay character, but the live-action boy, whatever his name is, yeah, no. Bobby Bollcut just doesn't do it for me. He's just an annoying wanker. It's like, why on earth did they... Oh, that was the other thing that really got me. I don't know if it's just the DVD itself or this is what actually happened, but the audio quality is really off.
Near them, they're very nervous.
Okay,
If you see any elves, just tell them you're a friend of mine.
got it.
And tell Yuko and Mo exactly what the Oracle says. They need to know. That's really important. Unicorns come.
I don't know if you've noticed it throughout this entire review, but yeah, there's something going on with the audio where it sounds like an echo chamber, like they had two microphones open at once instead of channeling them right. So it's kind of off-putting. Yeah, the character designs are just kind of weird, especially for the elves. That's what kind of gets me. It's not awful, because it's definitely, I mean, it definitely has an annoying character.
I'll definitely listen to my smoke signal helmet.
Which thankfully he's not in it much, but it's nothing I would go and seek out. I also love, and I noticed this when I pulled out the DVD to watch it, they have an alternate cover, as apparently that's a thing nowadays, so that you can see what else is crack-a-lackin'. And I'm gonna take a picture of it. Yeah, Mia is just kind of there. And I also like how they have a sea pony. That's a thing in here somehow. So yeah, it's a thing. Mia and me, not the worst I've ever seen. Apparently there's more. Well, I didn't see that. Okay, so apparently they have other episodes on DVD, and they have a picture of the main actress. But that's not on this. So I don't know. It's harmless. It's cool to an extent. It has some cool ideas, but it doesn't push enough. The only reason why I had to drink was because some of that story, man, it was not good. Just like some of the, I don't know, the writing was just a little clunky. It could have been way better, and the animation stuff that you're throwing in the live action part, yeah, I could have done without. I don't understand how you gotta just constantly engage the children with changing shit on screen the entire time. If they cannot, I'm sorry, if children cannot watch something without fucking constant flashes going on, then your fucking kid needs some help. I'm sorry. It's the truth. A kid should be able to sit there and deal with long cuts of just conversation and take that in rather than, oh, here's little fucking flowers coming out of the boy's head for reasons. It's harmless. We went to Gorby, so take that as you will. Me and me, not the best, not the worst, better than Regal Academy. So until next time, kids, Bye.